awesome job, Deep Sense Technology. That's a complicated venture to understand, like, what is that ecosystem, who's our actual customer, and I think they've done a really good job of navigating that. So that concludes the ARC part. Now we're going to transition to the student-led accelerator program called the Catamount Innovation Fund. I'm going to welcome up to the stage the president, Robert, and Lily. I don't know your title, but involved in leadership, we've also got Lily Merchant.
Thank you so much, Skylar. Your enthusiasm is absolutely unmatched. I've never met somebody as enthusiastic as you are. You're a large reason and a large inspiration of mine to take on leadership roles here at UVM, so really appreciate you, man. And you guys did awesome. Great job. Thank you. So just wanted to thank you guys for being here, taking the extra hour and a half to listen to these awesome, innovative student ideas. Just to do a brief introduction, my name is Robert Trim, and I'm a sophomore at UVM studying finance, accounting, and computer science. I have a pretty light workload at school, so I'm the president of the Catamount Innovation Fund, as Skylar mentioned. Much of my entrepreneurial spirit is derived from many of my own ventures. I've worked with numerous startups in the past, and my friend and I also run our own company, Stalgrid Technologies, which specializes in audiovisual solutions, energy management, as well as automated control system integration. So Lily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Merchant. I am a sophomore. I'm studying marketing, entrepreneurship, global business, and Spanish, and I'm the director of marketing for the Catamount Innovation Fund. And I am currently not working on an entrepreneurial endeavor, but my entrepreneurial passions come from people. I'm heavily involved in the Grossman School of Business community, as well as the greater UVM community through extracurriculars, and I believe that my job is to connect others, to bring people's products and services to the market, and just to foster this community here in Burlington.
Thank you, Lily. So just to preface our presentations for this evening, we just want to give a brief introduction about how CIF works, the ins and outs, and just like the basic timeline for the semester. So there's three main problems that we're largely addressing through CIF. The first being that there is not a prominent presence of entrepreneurial programs on campus. So of course we have the Entrepreneurship Club, we have ARC, which you just heard from, and we have entrepreneurship classes, many of which Eric Munson teaches. But these programs don't necessarily specifically hone in on specific student ideas. So we take that and really hone in on them and give them 100% attention towards what they care about. Then next, there's a lack of access to capital and guidance. As many of us know, it is quite difficult being a broke college student. It's hard enough to even buy beer for the weekend, so let alone starting a business is very challenging. So also away from a monetary standpoint, you may have lack of expertise or guidance. So we're here to fill that void as well, give you networking opportunities and connections to the local community, whatever it may be. And then lastly, there's a strong disconnect between alumni and student entrepreneurs. Many of the alumni that we have spoken to haven't been able to give back to their alma mater in ways that they please, especially like in a real direct manner is ways that they're seeking for. So whether this is through giving a donation or being on our board of advisors or just doing hand-on advising with some of the student ventures, we allow the gateway for that. So. And then our solution to all these issues is the Catamount Innovation Fund, which is a student-led initiative aimed to augment the entrepreneurial climate on UVM's campus through capital funding and a semester-long guidance process. So there's currently 7 of us on the team, myself and Lily, and then the rest of the team is sitting over there. They've all been working really hard, as have our ventures, and we're really excited to showcase their ideas tonight. So. And Lily's just going to talk a little bit about like the semester process, how it works, from start to finish. So.
Yeah, so before I share about our timeline, I do want to explain a little bit of how we got here today. So for the past 2 years, the Catamount Innovation Fund has been in a COVID-induced hiatus. So the past semester and a half, we have been spending our time rebooting this program. We were left with Eric Monson, our club advisor. We were left with Skylar Bagden, who was an alumni of the program, who had his own venture here. And then we were also given a shared Google Drive, and we were told to run with it. So we are here today. Ideally, in the fall, our program will run 15 weeks. But as we were getting ready to reboot, we decided, let's stop talking about it. Let's hop right in, and we decided to implement this program this semester. That's left us these past 4 weeks to work with these 3 student ventures that you'll hear from shortly, and we condensed this whole 15-week program into these 4 weeks. So to take a look at what this program will look like in the fall and what our condensed version has looked like in this past 4 weeks, here's our timeline. We started off with an application process. UVM students across campus from many backgrounds, many majors, all majors and all colleges can come and apply to our program. They share how Catamount Innovation Fund will help them. They tell us what their business ideas are and what development, or what their development looks like, their stages of development, whether they're new, whether they have matured a little bit, what their growth process looks like. Then they are introduced to our guide team, and right from the start, they hop into pitch development. So they are working to create pitch decks, and then we'll later have these opportunities to share. Then we go through a cycle of funding and advising and development. So this cycle goes through 10 weeks, where students work on creating a business plan, and then they create individual goals. And as they complete these goals, we give them access to capital on a case-by-case basis. And they fill out requisition forms, and again, they work on with us to create a business plan. And then lastly, this all culminates in pitch competitions or showcases. So today we have 3 of our student ventures here with you, and then also next week they will be presenting at the UVM Annual Business Pitch Competition. And we encourage our students to participate in events like this, not only so that they can work on their communication skills, but also so that they can have access to members of the community, so that they can talk to and connect with local entrepreneurs, industry experts, and the like. And again, like Skylar and Nicole have said, we really strongly encourage that you guys come and share your experiences with our student ventures, introduce yourselves, give advice if you have any, and just work on facilitating some conversations, because we'd love to grow connections in this room here today. And that goes the same for our guide team. Feel free to, again, ask some questions more about what our program looks like. And without further ado, I would like to introduce 3 of our student programs here today. We have Jada Dean and Mallory Stafford with Sauce Court. We have, we can clap for each. We have Murphy Roberts with Musgear. And then we have Zach Dunn with Painting for Purpose.
And then Jada and Mallory, you ready to take it away? Yes. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Here we go.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming out and supporting us. I'm Jada.
I'm Mallory.
And we make hot sauce. So I grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado. I moved to New York and I went to a small school in Pennsylvania before ultimately transferring to the University of Vermont this past summer. I love to ski, hike, and basically everything outdoors.
My name's Mallory Stafford. I am a junior psychology major at UVM. And I started making hot sauce about a year ago with my older brother, Charlie. And I loved it so much that when I went away to college, I started making my own so I could have more of it. Charlie is a Skidmore College graduate who has a lot of experience in the food industry, and he's really great at coming up with these flavors and putting them in a bottle and making them taste really good.
So I used to not put hot sauce on any of my food. For me, the options that were available in restaurants and dining halls just tasted hot. I just tasted the pepper, the vinegar, and the salt. And personally, I didn't like it so much. So Mallory and I went to the farmer's market. We got some habanero peppers and mangoes, and we made our own mango habanero, which was packed with flavor. It was so good. And then we started making other batches. We gave samples to our neighbors, many of whom are right over there. And we started crafting our own recipe for flavor-packed hot sauce.
So our goal is to use locally sourced ingredients to support our community. And our unique idea is that we bring the flavors of classic cocktails to the hot sauce. So for example, we brought with us today a pina colada inspired hot sauce with habanero, coconut, and pineapple. We brought a spicy margarita hot sauce with jalapenos and lime. We didn't bring this one today, but we do have a tomato, horseradish, ghost pepper hot sauce for a Bloody Mary theme. And the last hot sauce we brought today was a balsamic carrot habanero sauce. We emphasize using reusable and recyclable bottles. So if you use your bottle and then send it back to us, we will give you your next bottle at a discount price. And there are many health benefits to our hot sauce and how we lacto ferment the peppers. It's packed with probiotics and enzymes that protect against bad bacteria like E. coli, which raw vegetables can be susceptible to. We've tried many different methods of making hot sauce. We've tried blending, boiling, baking, but our favorite methods are pickling and lacto fermentation, which Jada is going to talk a little bit more about.
So lacto fermentation, our hot sauce, specifically the fermented one, is an acidified food. So this means that the pH needs to be low to avoid food-borne illnesses and bacteria like Clostridium botulinum. Wordful. And so the fermentation process basically sets up a select conditions like removing oxygen to create an anaerobic environment. This anaerobic environment breaks down sugars like glucose and turns it into lactic acid. The lactic acid that we use alongside vinegar keeps the pH low. Also, by fermenting at room temperature alongside this anaerobic environment, prevents mold growth. I have been speaking with UVM food safety professor, Dr. Todd Pritchard, in basically just further educating myself on the fermentation process and food safety planning.
So what's very exciting is we're starting to grow our very own ingredients. So here we have some garlic, some lavender and basil, and some tomatoes and peppers. And we do realize that in the long term, it's unrealistic for us to only use our own produce to make our hot sauces with. So we hope to find a local farm to support us.
Also, to maintain our small neighborhood local feel, we do want to expand to the farmers markets. We don't really want to expand online and ship all over the country. We want to maintain our local feel.
Yeah, this will also reduce our carbon footprint by not sending things across, the country or to different states. So we're aware of our competitors, and we are not trying to be the next Cholula, Tabasco, or Sriracha. We want the versatility of this hot sauce and our hot sauce, but with our own unique flavors. So where we differ from the smaller companies like Yellowbird, Bonitos, and Angry Goat Pepper is that we have all sorts of unique flavors that we've never seen before, and we are really excited for people to try.
Financial projections. So cost per 5-ounce bottle comes out to $3.40. This includes the glass bottle and the produce. The mason jars that we ferment with are considered a sunk cost because they just came from our kitchen. They are cleaned and sanitized between each batch. With the discount program that we are running, this will lower cost and price, giving us the same contribution margin. We have already purchased 50 bottles, and we do not expect the price on produce to change much, so we are expecting just under $300 profit from this round of resources that we have.
So right now, we're at well over 20 sales of our classic flavors that we're distributing at the moment, which are mango habanero, garlic poblano, and carrot habanero. And we've been getting the word out by doing things like auctioning off a bottle at the UVM Ballet Verities Showcase, which is my club.
We are really grateful for the Catamount Innovation Fund for their advising and funding. We hope to get a processor and blender to help us when our operations increase, as well as a pH meter and fermentation jars that have an airlock to maintain that anaerobic environment, as well as the bottles and the label printer to have more of a professional product.
So these are some testimonials from our customers. It's been really awesome to make a product that people enjoy. And we found that Vermonters love hot sauce, so we are in a great place to make this product.
we have never been referred to as Steve Jobs, so this is new.
And thank you guys for coming and listening to our presentation. You guys can contact us directly or by Instagram direct message for your very own bottle of hot sauce. Also, sorry, we're gonna have some samples out back over there by the bar. So if you guys wanna come try some sauce after the presentations, you're welcome to do that.
It kind of comes from, I moved in with Mallory when I first transferred here to a street, and having court in the name is like kind of close to our hearts. Yeah.
How many bottles of hot sauce do you get out of making one batch, and how long does it take you to make that?
Yeah, so each mason jar will yield 3 to 4 bottles, and it takes 1 to 4 weeks. We are staggering every time that we put peppers into the bottle, so we can make a batch every single week.
How many hours does it take you to do that, to make a batch yourself?
To make the batch, less than an hour. It's pretty fast, yeah.
I actually made a batch today in like 20 minutes, so speed
crunch.
cooking.
Yeah. Okay, awesome, thank you.
Oh,
yes, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say if you had talked with any other kind of like local companies that are making hot sauce, I think it might be Vermont Maple. I remember there's like a maple sriracha, and like, have you ever talked about any collaborations on maybe bottling or any of like sharing of resources?
No, we are relatively new. We just started working to become like a real business when we started with the Catamount Innovation Fund. But we're planning on reaching out to Mr. Benito himself.
We do have a collaboration coming up with Feel Good, the grilled cheese stand at UVM, and they want our hot sauce for one of their sandwiches.
It's a good job by Jada and Mallory. I really did say their hot sauce is frickin' amazing, because it is frickin' amazing. So great job, guys. It's awesome working with you. And up next, we have Murphy Roberts with Musgear.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I am Murphy Roberts, and I make handmade quality clothing through Musgear. And a little bit about myself. I'm from Media, Pennsylvania, which is about 20 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. And I am now a sophomore here at University of Vermont in the Grossman School of Business, studying finance and accounting and sustainable business. And I really just enjoy anything outdoors, whether that's hiking, skiing, or camping. And I first started sewing when I would go visit my grandmother's house, and she would help me either make oven mitts, hot pads, or aprons from my mom as a little gift to show my appreciation for her. And then over Thanksgiving, I decided to shave my head. And with winter right around the corner, it was getting really cold, especially up here in Vermont. So I decided to make a few hats. Like this one right here. This was actually the first one I ever made, and it's still holding up today. And first, Musgear is different from other fashion brands because I addressed the issue of fast fashion. For those of you who don't know, fast fashion is cheap quality clothing made not very sustainable. And although I make a very inexpensive hat, it is not cheaply made. And there are very limited options in the hat industry, which is why I kind of wanted to be more unique with my hats. This hat has a truck on it. I don't know how many other people have hats with trucks on it, or monster trucks, or sharks, which is what a lot of people have been buying. And hats are very costly. Hats have an average cost of around $30, and at a price of $20, I'm $10 below that average price. And common brands such as Skeeta, also handmade here in Burlington, Vermont, they are addressing the fast fashion issue as well. They are all handmade, high quality, and theirs are, however, at a price of $30 to $40, so a lot more money than mine. Turtle Fur, they are part of the fast fashion issue. Their hats are not handmade, they are fairly cheap quality, and they are not very great for the environment. They don't reuse any of their scraps or anything. And Switch Fleece, which is another handmade company right out of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. They are making a hat more similar to mine, double layer fleece. However, theirs are much pointier at the top, as you can see, so when it is being worn, it bunches up a lot around the sides and provides wrinkles. And through Musgear, I am building a community. My hats have a very recognizable design. They have a flat top with a ribbon as the logo, as you can see on those 3 hats and the neck gaiter that Liley is wearing in that photo. And they are affordable. At a price of $20, I'm undercutting all competition by at least $5 to $10. And I support the local community. Recently, I've given hats to the UVM Ski and Snowboard Club to give away at their local film festival they have. I've also given hats to the Kappa Delta sorority to give away at their volleyball tournament to the winners. And that fundraiser raised awareness for child abuse in Vermont. And I support my friend Tessa, whose company's name is Tessa Draws, and she has helped me create the logo for Musgear and all the art in this PowerPoint. My reversible hat has an 82.5% profit margin at a sale price of $20 per hat. They take around 20 minutes to make and half a yard of fabric. Cinch hats have an 80% profit margin. They take around 15 minutes to make, and with a sale price of $15 and cost of $3 as well. And shorts have a 56% profit margin at $30 per pair. They take around an hour to make. And some other products not listed up here is a quilted reversible hat, which I use fleece scraps to reduce waste and sew them together to create a panel of fabric that I sew onto another solid piece of fabric. I also make a pillow that is stuffed with finely cut fleece scraps to ensure that the pillow is very fluffy, and that also reduces my fleece wastes. And I've currently started shipping hats out of the state of Vermont. However, that could definitely be grown. And that is part of my plan to increase my location demographic by sending friends I have from high school or friends that I've made here, friends that go to other colleges. And I want to just have them wear them around campus, and then when they get asked, where'd you get that hat? Just say, you can buy it on this website at musgear.com, which I just purchased the domain for and have created a very brief website to get my name out there. And I hope to this summer reach out to local stores such as Tail Feather or Commandeer to get my product in their stores, as well as products where I'm from in Media, Pennsylvania. And I hope to start producing shorts, snow gear, and pants this summer while people are getting ready for ski season and such. And I want to update my website and push sales through there. Currently, I'm doing sales through Instagram DM, which is not a great way to communicate with somebody buying a hat. And this summer, I hope to sell 45 pairs of shorts and 10 pieces of winter gear, such as snow pants or gloves. And to date, I have $1,600 in sales with $950 in profit, and I've sold 101 units. And in the past week, I've gained 10% followers on Instagram and 136% more accounts reached. And through the funding of CIF, I will be buying 2 new sewing machines, a Singer Quantum Stylus, which will allow me to have a more professional stitch and stitch faster. And I will also be buying a Singer 8 heavy-duty sewing machine that will allow me to use a high-caliber thread to ensure the longevity of snow pants and other snow gear that needs that super thick thread to sew nylon. And this is just an example of, in the white, a high-quality stitch that won't fray that I can achieve with the Singer Quantum Stylist versus in the pink, just a straight stitch that will fray, which is on a majority of my clothing now. And I want to thank you all for coming and taking time out of your busy days to listen to this pitch. And I want to thank the Catamount Innovation Fund for all the funding and guidance they have provided me along the way. And if you have any tips or questions after, I don't know if I have time to take any questions right now, but if you have any later, you can reach out to me via email or phone. Thank you. I will also have some, I have a bunch of the clothing that I can show you guys after if you're interested. And I can take any questions if anybody has any.
You said you were building a community with Musgear. Do you have anyone that's going to help you scale this project so you don't have to sew all of them? At some point, you can only make so much of it.
Yes. Currently, I do not. I haven't been too overwhelmed. I do have a few hats that I need to make by the end of this week, but a few friends of mine do sew and know how to sew, and I do trust them with the sewing, so yeah.
You mentioned community as being a really important piece of your brand, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts for how you might grow that more in the future, grow that level of engagement with a community like that.
Definitely. I think through growing community, I want to do more with being involved in fundraising, being involved in donating hats to the local community and helping other small businesses do what they want to do and help community through there, if that makes any sense.
Can you make my graduation hat?
I might be able to. Yes. All right. Thank you.
Great job, Murphy. He has some very cool clothing. I don't have favorable hair genes. My dad started balding in his mid-20s, so I'm probably going to buy a lot of hats very soon. And then last but certainly not least, we want to bring up Zachary Dunn with Painting with Purpose.
They said business attire, so I had to show them. All right, Painting with Purpose. My name is Zachary Dunn, and this is my professional painting service, Painting with Purpose. So without further ado, here we go. Our mission, Painting with Purpose, is a professional painting service with a dual mission to beautify the greater Burlington area while also joining the solutions to end Vermont homelessness. So Vermont homelessness is second per capita behind California, and we know how much we hear about California in the news. So we're partnering with CVOEO to make this happen. They're the biggest nonprofit in Burlington. And we're setting up a fund that is going to be towards permanent housing for the homelessness over time that will grow. We are lead safe certified, we are insured, and LLC. Management, so the boys behind the mission. I'm Zach Dunn. I'm born in Florida, and I moved to Vermont, Middlebury, when I was 12. Before I had the painting company, I had Dunn Brothers Detailing, which was a mobile detailing service. We did cars, RVs, boats, motorcycles, all the above. We still do it, too. Anyway, I'm a sustainable business major, junior. My hobbies include sports, outdoors, and making music. My business partner, Josh, born in Massachusetts, moved to Vermont about 10 months ago now. He had his own painting service before Painting with Purpose for a few years, and he has 5 years professional experience, so he's been teaching me a lot of things along the line. Right now, it's just me and him. I have a bunch of friends that would love to work for us this summer, and I'm very excited to have him on the crew. But right now, we're just doing jobs, the both of us. And he's a big skier, anything to do with auto, and he likes to go fast. The Painting with Purpose way. So most painting companies around here have had long history of experience, and it's typically older people, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it is nice to be youthful and have a little pep on your step in the jobs. We're very detail-focused, and Josh is a perfectionist, and I'm very grateful for that because we do a great job on every job that we've done so far. And a lot of painters that we've seen around the area, at least going to people's houses and seeing what the walls look like and what the ceilings look like, it seems that there's a lot of shabby painting in Burlington. I don't know what that means or what's going on or what is today again? Okay. Anyway, so traditionally, there's a lot of set ways on how people do the painting, and there's not really a lot of innovation in terms of painting. But our business is mainly focused on how can we always improve on our job. So we want to be adaptable. We want to like grow with the times. We want to figure out how to make our painting service better as time goes on. And something that we haven't seen any other company around the area is that we are a charitable company. So we donate 33% of our profits to our mission, the third person. Background. So like I said earlier, Dunn Brothers Detailing was my first business experience, and Painting with Purpose is my second one. And that's what I had done from 2020 to about last summer. In October, I almost joined Young Entrepreneurs Across America, which taught entrepreneurship through a painting business, but I saw that they were taking a 42% cut on that, which seemed like too much, and I had some of my own business experience, so I was confident I could do it. November, I was in a leadership and organizational behaviors class. My teacher, Professor Fritz, she was the former president of the board on CVOEO, and then she brought in the president, who was Paul Dragon, and he spoke to our class, and he had a really strong impact on me. He had been through a lot during his life, and now he was the top of the biggest nonprofit in Burlington. So I've met with him in person. We've been talking over email, and he's a very good person, a very good role model for me. In January, I formulated the business, LLC, like I said, insurance, got everything that we needed, made the logo. And in February, I got a job at a painting company because I didn't have too much paint experience myself. And that's why I met Josh, is at Job Well Done LLC in Burlington. Our core values. So efficiency, that can be with our space, that's with our supplies, that's with our tools, and that's with just the workflow itself. You know, having a set process that you can apply to every single job. Even though every single job is different, there are some things that you can always say will go one after another. Effective communication, so that's between me and Josh, between me and any customer, and between me and Josh and our workers when it comes to that. And finishing touches, very important in anything, but especially in painting. You know, you will miss a little spot here and there, and you will want to make sure that you clean up everything afterwards because you don't want to leave dust in the customer's house. Of course, if the walls are all painted, everything's good, but you don't want to ever leave a mess. And so every day after work, we clean up. Our services. So we offer residential, commercial, interior, exterior. So we can do basically any job that you need done, we can do it. And we also do decks. And this is a picture from our first job. This right here was where the bike goes after this guy. He didn't have a car, so he was putting his bike right there, and so it was rubbing up against it. And so we patched it up and made it look brand new. So the market analysis. So in Vermont, the paint work exceeds the painters. So there is a high demand for painters. So we are in a good place in this industry. And so we're very excited to get into the summer work because we can finally go outside and do painting work and get sunburns and all that. There's about 25 companies for Chittenden County, which is around 160,000 people, and we've traveled even farther. We did a couple quotes last week in Stowe, and we've gone all the way up to St. Albans. We went to St. Albans yesterday. So we'll travel even outside of Chittenden County. So cost per square foot, it's wide range, depends on the job, depends on the difficulty of the work, depends if the house has lead or not. And so we are lead certified, like I said, so we can't do lead jobs. And mostly interior work is what we have. In the summertime, you have exterior jobs because that's basically the only time you can do it. Paint, you don't really want to paint under, you really don't want to paint under 50 degrees. So most of the stuff in the summer is going to be exterior work. And then for rainy days, you'll have like an interior job or something like that lined up. And we are the only known charitable company. I did a lot of research, tried to find things. I don't want that to be the case in 10 years. I would love to inspire other companies to do the same thing. Marketing. So flyers, we put flyers up in businesses. I've gotten help from people putting up flyers. UVM, my friends have helped me out. And another thing is referrals. So the jobs that we have gotten so far have been word of mouth. Word of mouth is huge in Vermont. You know, somebody has a job done. We do a great job, and then they refer us to somebody else. Or, you know, we're working with 3 different contractors right now. And so, we're working with 3 different contractors, and that way, by them having a painter, they don't have to do it themselves. Another thing is social media. So right now we run ads on Facebook and Front Porch Forum. And networking, like I said, contractors, CVOEO has a wide network of people, and BNI, which I will get to, and events like this at Hula, talking to you guys. So here is a quote from our first customer that we did for. I'm not going to read it, but he had a house in Winooski that really needed like a lot of cleaning and a lot of patchwork. There was a lot of stuff on the walls that we had to clean off and sand off, and I'm very grateful that he said this about us. So above everything, you know, we can have a mission, we can have a good company, and, you know, have the right operations, but our work is what matters, you know. What the actual painting work is going to dictate whether or not we're successful. CIF funding. So the first thing we want to do is get a Business Network International membership, which I learned about through my insurance guy, which basically, to summarize it in a sentence, it's a referral network. So people from all different types of businesses over here, people that need painting, accounting, photography, hot sauce, and they refer it to people within the BNI community. And then one of these babies. Beautiful, right? So we want to put the logo right there so everybody knows who we got coming around town. CIF, thank you for the 1,000. We will get the other 7,000. And so this is just like a brief, kind of complicated chart looking at what BNI has done with the Williston chapter. The number you want to look at is right there, 362,000. So that's among 17 members. So we hope by spending 800, we will be able to yield back on our investment. Spring break. So we launched, our first job was in spring break. And so our revenue to date is 17,000. We've profited 7,500 of that. We're booked into June, and we've accumulated $2,500 in assets, and our donation fund is at $2,500 right now. So our targets for the summer, we want to get to $80,000 in revenue, $30,000 in profit, 10K in donations, and have a full-time team of 4. And depending on whether or not we'll be overbooked, maybe we can get 2 crews. I haven't looked that far, but these are our targets for now. And yeah, so I'm Zach Dunn. This is Painting with Purpose, and we paint for homes. Any questions?
What have been your biggest challenges to date, and do you envision the types of challenges to change as you grow?
The biggest challenges, I say, is just patience with the prep work. The actual painting itself is probably the shortest part of the process. Really, it's, you know, sanding everything down. We want to make sure the wall is flat. Like, that wall was very nicely painted. I am very impressed with that wall. And most of the walls in this place. This is a nice building. But yeah, so the prep work and just, you know, you're going to get that nick that's in the corner, and I'm short and I can't reach it, and I have to go get the ladder to get there. But yeah, we just want to be very professional with our work and just get every nook and cranny that we can.
I just want to say I love how much you donate to charity as an organization. That's so cool. Like,
thank you.
Being a young entrepreneur, getting a business started, and from day one donating. That's just amazing. So I was wondering if you could speak to how you got connected to that mission and what gave you the idea to donate so much of your profits to charity.
So, like I said, I'm a junior at UVM, so I've seen the problem get worse 3 years that I've been in Burlington. Paul Dragon speaking to our class had a big impact on me. My teacher that used to be on the board of it had a big impact on me. And what was the first part you were asking about?
Just what gave you the idea to like attack it by?
Yeah, and I wanted to have to be a charitable company, and I knew it's harder to adapt to that afterwards. So if we instill it from the very start and we put it in the name, and that's our mission, and that's what we want people to remember, that's where I feel like we'll have the most impact. And people in Vermont care, like genuinely care. Moving from Florida, not that people in Florida don't care, but Vermont is just a very caring and open community, and people like to help people that have good ideas. Thank you, guys.
All right, Rob, I'll let you close out for CIF, and then I'll say goodbye.
I was going to close out with you, but yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody that came out. We really appreciate you coming out. The teams have been working incredibly hard this past semester, especially with such a short timeline that we had. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, round of applause across the board. Students killed it. Support student entrepreneurship. That's it.